Hello there. With ConvertKit, you don't want to just build forms. What you want to do is build forms that get you results. And a little bit of that has to do with how you design your form, and a little bit of that has to do with how your form displays, what it offers, what you are trying to do with your form, and a whole lot of things. And as far as design and deployment of the form is concerned, a lot has to do with the design and the copy that's found on the form. What are you asking for and how are you asking it? Now, when it comes to ConvertKit, creating forms is fairly simple. Once you log into ConvertKit account, click on landing pages and forms on the top left corner, and you will find a little red button that says create new. Click on create new and you will find two options. One is to create a form and the other is to create a landing page. At the moment, for the purposes of this video, we'll click on form, and you have choices as to what kind of form that you want to build. There is inline form which usually goes in between your blog posts or above or below your blog post. You have a model form, which is form that you usually see on every website. This kind of blacks out the entire website and shows up front and center. You also have a form called slide in, which usually shows up after the user has scrolled through your pages for a certain amount of scroll depth, which is 30%, 40%, 50%, etc. Or you can even time it as in 6 seconds and 8 seconds, depending on how you want to experiment. And then there is a sticky bar, which usually shows up on the top or at the bottom of your website permanently there, so that it can always prompt your visitors to sign up for an offer that you're making. Let's choose the model form for ease of understanding and choose a form template to begin with. Don't worry, you can change the template as you wish and make all the changes that you would need so that you can stay on brand and make the appropriate offer as you would. All you need to do now is to click on the particular subheading and the heading and make changes as you go. And then you should also know that I can change the image here and I can change the way the button looks. So I can change the copy on the button and I can also change the colors of the button. To change your image is to click on the image or go to general styles and then change the background here. You can replace this image with any other image that you might have created using simple tools like Canva or Trello, or you could create one using Photoshop, or you can have it created by somebody else who's on your team. Click on that particular image so it's shaped and shows up properly, and then make the changes to your headings, your subheadings. You can even add lists or another image inside. And then if you want to change the color of the button, you can change it here as well. You can change it to something that is more on brand and then leave it as such. If you would like to add a name and an email address and not just the email address, which is the default, click on that little plus icon and choose a custom field such as first name. You can even position your first name form field and change the font colors inside these as well, and click on save. Your form is created. So it will rather take just about 5 to 10 minutes to create your form. What's more important and what helps you really get results is number one, the design of your form. Number two, the headings and the subheadings and the copy that you will use on your form. And number three is when it will start showing up for your visitors. So click on settings and you will see a few options available for you. So what happens after somebody signs up on your form? So you could click on the general tab here and decide what really shows up after somebody signs up. You can choose to show a success message, or you can choose to redirect to an external page, which normally happens to be a page that shows up on your website soon after somebody signs up off of your website. You can have them redirect to another page, or you also have other options there, as in when should the form show up. Is it on exit intent? Is it on scroll percentage, such as 30% after a user scrolls through, or a 40% after a user scrolls through, or the timing as to how long should the form wait before it shows up, like 5 seconds or 6 seconds. You also have the option of having a form show up when somebody clicks on a link on your web page or on a button off of your web page. This is the particular link that you can use to make sure that people can click and then have the form show up. Or you can even choose to determine what kind of a device it should show up on and how often should a visitor see this. So you don't want to keep having your form show up for absolutely every visitor who comes on your website. Then you can also choose to click on domain name and choose a domain that your form will be hosted on. You can add a custom domain to your ConvertKit account and then use that like I'm using here for hustle.fetchprofits.com, or you could just leave it as a default. But if you do have a permanent form of sort, you might want to have a particular domain name added and then give your new form a name, something like hustle.fetchprofits.com slash, and then add it so that this form will always live on that URL that you just created. And another important thing you need to remember is what happens when somebody signs up. Will they get an email to acknowledge the fact that they signed up? And that particular email is called incentive email in ConvertKit. Other email service providers call it an autoresponder. So you can have an email sent over to your subscribers to have them confirm that they just subscribe to whatever it was that you were giving away. You should choose to have a incentive email that goes out and at least acknowledges the fact that they have subscribed to whatever it is that you were offering. You can even choose to edit your email content. You can change the subject depending on what it is that you're trying to do with your form. You can even add more content here, or you could actually add a wee bit of character and even add an image if you wanted. Click on this little plus icon and add an image if I wanted to. I can even change the color of the button here or the copy of the button. And there you go. And I can edit this and leave it as such. Now, you can design your incentive mail in a way that actually works for your business. Should you auto confirm new subscribers or should you leave it blank? I would highly recommend that you do not check this particular box that says auto confirm new subscribers, because there are several bots and software available to help populate forms automatically. So you will be subjected to a lot of spam. So you don't want to pollute your email list. It's better that you want to attract only those people who are invested a bit. You would want people to go into their email, check their email, click on that confirmation button, and double opt in, as they call it in the email marketing industries. And then you can also choose as to what happens after somebody clicks and signs up to you. After they get their incentive email that will be sent anyway to their inbox, what should happen after? Should they be confirming their redirect to another form or another page? Or you can even have them download a file immediately if that was what that you promised them in the first place. Then there are also advanced options that you have available. After somebody signs up on your form, he or she visits your site later. Should the form be shown again or should you hide the form? I would recommend hiding it. Or you can even show custom content here. So I would just go with hide the form. You can even again have people go to a particular thank you page that lives on your website. I would highly recommend you go through your options available depending on what it is that you're trying to do. You could choose to have your form show up in a particular way or behave in a particular way. And that is key to making sure that your form really works for you. So if you're on ConvertKit, you get all of these options that you can choose. And I hope that helps.